I first heard about AE when I was a student at Durham Tech. I was 18 when I started here, so I didn't know a lot, and I have, learned a lot. I have grown a lot. This company has provided me the opportunity to do those things, and a lot of challenges, a lot of opportunities, and I am grateful for every one of them. So what drew me to IT was, in high school, I always knew, there wasn't much technology, just typewriters, but I always knew that I wanted to be, to deal with computers and, whatever career path I chose. And so that was what I was going to school for, was computer science. And so that was, um, always been my passion to learn more about that, and, and to help people learn more as well. In terms of how IT itself has changed over the last 4 decades. So when I started at Advanced Energy as a part-time receptionist, there was no technology. There were typewriters with carbon paper and whiteout. And, if a letter needed to go out to 20 people, well, that was 20 letters you typed. And if, the productivity back then obviously was a lot less than it is today. So at some point we did get computers in, the late 80s probably. And so those computers were, not everybody had their own like they do today. There were, computers on a rolling cart, and they were checked out. Somebody had the computer for the first half of the day, and somebody else had it the second half of the day. And that's how it worked out. And so you had to really plan your work around that, because there wasn't another way. And then, at some point, we had a network server, which was my desktop computer that I used every day. And, sometimes I'd do something that wasn't correct and have to reboot, and everybody couldn't do anything until all that came back up. So it was very, very different and very frustrating at times for the staff. Then we moved on to, having a real network with coax cable, and every device was connected to each other. So if there was an issue, you had to go trace it down and figure out, okay, where is that issue? And because when there was an issue, everybody beyond that point couldn't work. So that was always challenging to figure that out, but sometimes fun. And then so that was probably early 90s, I guess, during that time. And we had dial-up internet for a while, no real, full-time internet, until we moved out to NC State's Centennial campus in that office in 1996. Then we had real internet. So that was certainly a change for everybody, and a welcome change, by the way. And so, then the network improved. It was more of a, at the time, a true network, without the coax cables, with, Cat5 cables at the time, probably. And, so that's kind of how it's been. It's obviously grown and changed since 96 until now, in a lot of different ways. And then, there's all the cybersecurity aspects now that make it even more challenging every single day to keep everything safe and secure. But, at some point, I don't remember, maybe when we moved to NC State's campus in 96, most people had their own laptop, or I'm sorry, their own computer at the time. Some were desktops, some were laptops. And then at some point later, we decided everybody needed a laptop so that they could, do things outside of office hours if needed. And so that then became the norm. And then at some point around the pandemic, we, were able to work remotely. Well, before the pandemic, we were able to work remotely for, a few days a week. And then after the pandemic, or when the pandemic hit, everybody was remote for a long time, a year and a half, until we slowly started coming back to the office. So, technology's obviously come a long way throughout my tenure here at Advanced Energy, and it's been ever changing. Even to the backups, because everything needs a backup. Back in the late '80s, we backed up everything on floppy disk, and it took forever to switch out all the floppy disk. And then we went to tapes, and you know, you backed it up, and you needed to take one off site so that if something happened to the building, you still had a backup. Well, I used to take it home. I figured I was far enough away from the office that if some natural disaster came, it was not likely to hit both places at the same time. So that was our backup at the time. And then, we switched from tapes to cloud backup, which is where we are now. So lots of evolution of technology, lots of different changes, lots of challenges, and lots of fun. So I stayed at AE for so long for a lot of different reasons. I'll talk about a few of them. One is I love the variety of responsibilities that it offered me and all the different positions that I've held over the last 4 decades. I also love the flexibility that was offered, which helps with the work-life balance. There is now, and there has always, most of the time, been a lot of flexibility offered to staff. And the third reason are the people. I was very young when I started, and the company was smaller at the time, and everybody was like family. It was like a small family. And so, the company has grown a little over the years, but it's always still felt like, my coworkers are part of my family because I was so young when I started, and I literally grew up here at AE. My favorite part of being at AE, oh, um, just the challenges, the opportunities to figure things out. There's never a dull moment. In any, whether it's IT or any other capacity that I served, it's always something new to figure out, and that's what I love to do. I love to solve an issue, to you know face a challenge head on, and figure out how to what the right solution is to move everything forward. I have obviously a lot of memories from my time here at AE, and some are just the friendships that I've made over the years, some lasting, more than 20 years. Another memory is, in the beginning for holiday get-togethers, it was hosted at a staff member's house where, the families and all the children gathered, and, a lot of times Santa Claus showed up, and that was just a memory that, because I had a young child and others had young children, and it was very meaningful at the time. Um, Another memory would be just, you know, the the people, just the friendships, the value that, um, that I have for this company and everything that it's given to me and helped me learn and grow over the years. Another memory that I have from my time at Advanced Energy is the legacy of Dr. Robert Coker, who was one of the founding members of the company many years ago, and then later became president for over 30 years. He was in my mind, a brilliant person, a smart person, and he left quite a legacy. Um, and I'm truly honored to have worked under his leadership for over 30 years. So AE's mission is impactful because it, helps the people of North Carolina. It also helps people outside of North Carolina with all the various things that the company does, the projects that it completes. It's far-reaching, in the impact of everything that is being done, to the low-income housing projects, to the commissioning projects. There's impact all over the place that the company has been doing for over 40 years. What that means to me is that, there is a company out there doing good for the people in the state and other people around the country. And I, would want to see them continue that impact, continue that mission to be um, helpful, to value the work that they're doing and have others value that same work to help them reach whatever goals that company or that person may have. Being an employee at AE is not just a job, it's a career. It there are a lot of opportunities that are offered, and I would advise anyone to take advantage of all of them. What I'll miss most after retirement from Advanced Energy are the people, and some that have encouraged me along the way are my first boss, Cindy Thomason, who is the person who hired me and who I looked up to for a long time because I was a young person looking to learn and grow. And she was a great mentor to me during the years that she was here at Advanced Energy. And I truly appreciate every opportunity that she gave me to learn additional responsibilities and help me grow throughout my career. Another one is Dr. Robert Koger. Again, he was, I worked under his leadership for 30 years or more, and I always admired him for everything that he has done for this company and a lot of other, in a lot of other aspects. And he's just a brilliant mind, uh, just a great person. And I have truly appreciated everything that, every opportunity that he provided for me as well. And last but not least, Brian Coble, our current president, who was my manager for a period of time. And Brian always loved to challenge me and try and push me out of my comfort zone to grow and to learn new things and to challenge myself. And while I may not have always appreciated it at the time, I do appreciate everything that he pushed me to do to help me grow. And so there are many others. Those are the ones that I will mention today. And I appreciate everything that everybody that I've ever met over the last 40 years that has helped me in any capacity. I've had some great managers over the years and a lot of great colleagues and coworkers and just multiple people that I could never repay or never name every one of them. So I appreciate it all. As I prepare for my retirement from Advanced Energy, I would like to, say to everyone that it's been great working with all the staff, all the leadership. I am beyond blessed to have been able to be here for over 4 decades. And I would encourage everyone to continue doing all the great work that you're doing now and far into the future.